Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. My name is Choof, and today I'm going to be telling you a story about a homeless man I met outside a 7-Eleven in Toronto. It's pretty interesting. Now, I know I've been AWOL for like 2 years, mainly because I forgot I even had this channel. But I'm back, alright, and I'm back strong. I got some banger stories I'm going to inform you about, get you back up to date. But for now, we're going to stick with this one. Now let's get right into it. We were in Toronto. Me and my best friends, we were in Toronto. And we were visiting for this DECA meet. And DECA was a business competition. Sort of. It was like a high school business competition. And I think we were in, I want to say grade 11 at this point in time. So we were all pretty young. And, maybe it was grade 10. I don't know. Okay, but we were pretty young, and this was great. This was just a vacation for us. And we were having a hoot and a holler, wandering downtown Toronto. We didn't live in Toronto. We didn't actually live, we lived in the suburbs. So this was new, going to downtown Toronto. Or not new, but it was exciting. And there was a lot of stuff. My God, there was a lot of stuff to do. And I remember it was about 8 o'clock. We were coming back into the hotel room, and we got hungry, alright? And we decided to go over to the 7-Eleven. Now, the 7-Eleven was conveniently located right across the street. And we headed on over. I remember one of my friends there, we're going to call him Randy for this video. He had a pack of these budget cigarettes. He didn't even have a pack. He had like 5, maybe 6. And that's all he had for the entire trip. So we were walking across the street, him there savoring that last little budget cigarette, and we get outside the 7-Eleven. And we didn't go in because, we're not going to go in with a budget cigarette lit. We were sitting outside, and there was a nice homeless man. We're going to call this homeless man Frank. And he was sitting against the wall, all set up. He was probably, waiting to go to sleep or something. It was getting late. It was like 8 o'clock. And he had his sleeping bag, and I remember he had a table made out of cardboard. It was pretty smart, alright? Pretty smart, I'm not gonna lie. I might do that when I don't have a table at some point in my life. We were finishing the cigarette, and I think he was asleep because he didn't notice us right away. And by the time he woke up, Randy was basically done the cigarette. There was, a little bit left. And right when we were about to go in, I felt someone poke my leg. And I turned around, and it was the homeless man. And I'm like, yo, what's up? And he said, is that a cigarette butt? And he points at Randy. And I told him, yeah. And he's like, could I have it? And of course, Randy gave him the cigarette butt, because, it's a fucking cigarette butt. We were going to throw it out. And he's there, he taking the last final half hit off it before he tosses it. And he's like, thank you, gentlemen. You're very nice. And we didn't think much of it. And, we said thank you. And we went into the 7-Eleven, got our Polar Pops, probably some chips and candy. Oh, we also got some of those hot dogs. If you guys don't like the wrinkly ass hot dogs they have at a 7-Eleven, those things slap. I don't care what you say. Those things are phenomenal. Okay? Now we grabbed our food, we got a hot dog for Frank, because he looked hungry. And we went out, gave the hot dog to Frank. And we were sitting there, Randy smoking another one of those budget cigarettes. And we started to converse. Well, we didn't start the conversation. No, Frank did. Frank was probably an alcoholic, if I'm going to have to guess, because he was not sober. He was slurring his speech, even though he was a very nice man. But he wasn't coherent at all. Now, Frank, he was mumbling something, okay? None of my friends understood, not a single one. But I was able to make out sort of what he said, and he was warning us that ice was going to fall from the building and hit us on the head. And it will really hurt. That's what he told me. I didn't know how to fully respond, but he did have a point, but he was also right up against the building. But we move from the building, we take a step forward. I tell my friends to take a step forward with me. And then I tell them, thank you. I didn't know what else to really say. And I think, we got him the hot dog. Oh, I missed an important detail here. He ended up our little conversation by saying, if you guys ever need cigarettes, just ask me and I'll get you some. You're not the first people to ask. And now with that idea drilled into our minds, we said goodnight and headed back to our hotel room with our snacks. And that was it. That was that. Or at least that's what we thought. But then we had this other friend named Tim. Now Tim was a nicotine fiend. He had this Novo, and he was ripping it whenever he could. If he was outside, he was ripping this thing. And he, for whatever reason, thought he only needed a quarter pod for this entire trip. he dusted it before we even got to the hotel. So big fuck up on you, Tim. Big fuck up, okay? And Tim was trying to figure out how do we solve this problem. And we're here communicating our ideas, brainstorming a solution for Tim's crisis. And I said, well, why don't you just ask the homeless man to get you some pods, like for a different vape at the convenience store, at the 7-Eleven, and you could just empty and transfer the juice into the Novo pod. And if you guys don't know, Novo pods, like you refill them with real juice. And this place didn't sell real juice, and we didn't really want to go get the homeless man to go to a smoke shop, right? Nonetheless, Tim was up for it. So we slept that night. Tim probably not sleeping very much, probably shivering and sweating his balls off, I don't know. Nonetheless, we wake up the next morning and the first thing we do is head over to the convenience store so Tim could get his pods. And of course, well, Frank was not there. Frank was nowhere in sight. He was gone. He disappeared. Just vanished. Maybe he got hit by an icicle and they had to take him to the hospital. I don't know, but that was the last we saw of Frank. And it was very unfortunate because Frank was a very nice man. So hopefully, next time we go back to downtown Toronto and we're near that 7-Eleven, we could see Frank and we could catch up, you know, like we did in the old days. Anyways, that's it for that story. There's not much there. I'm sort of just getting used to telling stories again. But if you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe, because there will be more stories. I got an even better one with 2 homeless people who just got out of prison and bought us beer. So that's upcoming. That's pretty exciting. So stay tuned. Anyways, have a good day.